so we can download Rust init.exe. We're going to use the 64-bit version unless for some reason you're on a 32-bit machine. Although I imagine this will be on 64-bit. Anyways, you're going to download that. That is going to give you a program that you can just double-click on wherever you download it. So I'm just going to load it up. I already do have Rust installed, but just so you guys can see how to go through this. And all you have to do here is one, you're going to proceed with the installation, just the default. You don't need to mess with anything, and then hit enter. Now I already have this installed, so it went very fast. But for you guys, it will install Rust, and then you should be good to go. Now there is one more thing on Windows, however, you do need to install, and this is going to be the Microsoft C++ build tools. I'll leave this link in the description. Go here, download the build tools. This is the 2019 build tools, which is what we want. And then when you go through this installer here, mine probably looks a little bit different than yours, so I'm not actually going to run it. But as it says here in the installation documentation, you need to make sure that you select C++ build tools. And Windows 10 SDK. 避けれるんだ。あ、いったーい。何これ、面白い。Or select from, just make sure you select these ones right here. So C++ build tools, Windows 10 SDK, and the English language pack. After that, you should be good to go. And if you want to test if your installation is working, open up your command prompt on Windows and just type in Rust C. If you get some output from this command, then you're all good to go, and we can move on to the next step. Now let me show you the installation on Mac. Alright, so I'm now on my Mac computer. I'm just going to quickly run you through the steps. This will be the same on Linux as well, by the way. So on the page for Rust installation, notice now it's not giving me the Windows download buttons because I'm on Mac. And all I'm going to do here is just copy this. Now this link will be in the description, so if you want to find this, just click this link. And what you're going to do here, is open up a terminal window. I'm just going to paste this in. So I believe I can use Command V to paste that. If that doesn't work for you, then try right-clicking on your mouse and paste that in. Now what you can do here is hit enter. And it should actually download the installer for you and run through the Rust setup. So here we're getting the same thing we got in the Windows installation. All we need to do is hit 1 to proceed with the default installation, and then hit enter, and it should install Rust for us. Now we do also need a C compiler here to be able to However, you should have one installed. We can test the installation to make sure it's working. Alright, so as you can see here, Rust is now installed. However, before we can get Rust to work, we do need to restart our terminal window. So I'm just going to close the terminal here. I'm just going to open up a new window. And inside of here, I'm just going to if this command works, then you successfully install Rust and you're good to continue on with the video. If this did not work, then please check the installation documentation. Again, it will be in the description. There may be an additional step that you need to follow, or you may have not actually ran this command correctly. With that said, that's all that I have for the installation. Now let's actually write some Rust code. Alright, so I'm back on my Windows machine, and I think as I mentioned, I'm going to use you can use whatever you'd like, but this is free and what I'll use. So you can download this from there.
こいつの銃もらいたいんだけど。あ、拾えるんだ。なるほど。間違った。銃投げつけちゃった。なるほど。銃拾えるんだ。また投げちゃった。貸してくれい。こう投げて殴って。
Now you should automatically get syntax highlighting for this. If you're in VS Code, you may need to install the Rust extension. But let's write our first code. To do this, I'm simply going to say fn. I'm going to write the main function. I'm going to put a set of parentheses, a set of curly braces like this, or brackets, whatever you call them, and then I'm going to write print ln exclamation point. I'm going to put a set of parentheses, and inside of here I'm going to put a string that I want to print. Now, of course, what we do for our first programs every time. And let me save this file, and I've now written my first Rust program. So I'll quickly break this down for you, then I'll show you how we actually run this. So fn stands for function. We'll get into functions later, but the main function is a special function in Rust when you run your Rust program. So you need to make sure you call this function code, and and anything inside of here will run immediately. Now, in Rust, you're supposed to have, I believe it is 4 spaces, not tabs for indentation, although let me check on
いつ打てるようになったなるのかわからないんだけど。
4 spaces as opposed to tabs for your indentation level. It doesn't matter so long as you're inside
赤字
of
って言
the
った。
correct set of
マシンガン
parentheses.
か
I'm actually
ら
just going to use tabs because they're easier, but just wanted to
やるしか
mention
ね
in case any of you are wondering, 4 spaces rather than tabs. Continuing here, we have print ln. Now this stands for
え。か
print
らの
line,
こい
and then
つ
we
どう
put
す
an
んの
exclamation point.
10。
Now
10
the exclamation point actually means
は
that
な
we're
い
running something
ない
called
な。
a macro. I'm not going to get to that for a while, but this is different than a function. This is actually a Rust
ちょっと
macro, and this is going to take one
これ
string
避けて
argument
から
here
これ拾っ
that allows
て
us to print this out to the screen. So it's really
よ
all we're
ー
doing.
し
We're printing the
そうや
string hello world to the screen, and this is a string because it's surrounded in double quotation marks. Okay, so let me save the program here. Now that we have our first program, we need to know how to run this. Now the steps will be very
ああ
similar
なるほ
on
ど
Mac or Windows.
スロ
Same
ーだった
with
もの
Linux.
が
We just
通
need
常
to
時
open
間
a
で
terminal
動
or
くんだ
command prompt.
え
Alright, now
え
that you
面
have a
白い
terminal or command prompt open, what you need to do is get into
なん
the
だこれ
directory where your
発
Rust
想がお
code
もろい
is. So first you need to
答え
know
は
where
ノ
you saved it. I imagine you guys can
左
figure
ク
that
リッ
out.
クで近
But
くの
mine is
敵を
actually
ひる
in
ま
a
せる
folder called Rust Tutorial, which is on my desktop.
ひるませ
So
ただ
from
け
my
あ
command prompt here,
で
I'm
これ
going
を
to
取
type
っ
cd
て
change
打っ
directory,
て
and I'm going to change into the desktop directory. Then I'm going to change into the Rust tutorial directory, and now that I'm here and I type ls, you'll see that I see the main.rs file. Now all of these commands will work on any operating system, so you can run them on
ちょっと電車
Windows, Mac, Linux,
電
etc.
車
Now that we're here, we have to run the Rust C command, which stands for Rust compile,
10
followed
打っ
by
て
the
から
name of our file, which in this case is main.rs. Now when we do this, what's going to happen is we're going to compile what's known as our source code, which is this file right here, into an executable binary file, which will be executable on the operating system in which
こりゃ
you
どうや
So if I run this, or sorry, this
お
command, so if I run
い
this command
い
on
るやん
Windows, then the executable file I get runs on Windows. If I do it
どう
on
すんのこれ
Mac, then it runs
お
on Mac.
ー
If I do it on Linux, it runs on Linux, etc. And actually, I think if you do it on Mac, it will run on Linux or Mac. If you say on Linux, it will run on Mac. Let's hit enter here.
また
We
銃
should
捨て
get
ちゃ
any
った
output. And what should
あいっ
happen
た
after this is we should see that we have a main.exe file or just a
面白
file called main or main.sh or something along those lines if
敵
you're
を
on
やっ
Mac or Linux.
け
So this is
て
actually the executable binary file, and this is what we can give to
なんか
people
打
who
撃で
want
きない
to run our Rust code without having Rust installed. So rather than giving them the source code, which is in our RS file, we give them the .exe file, and you don't need to worry about
そ
this
うだ
third
な
file right here.
投げるしか
So
ないの
now,
か
how
な
do we actually run our code? Well, we've just compiled the code. Now we have the executable file, and to do this, it's a bit different on each operating system, but on Windows, it's going to be dot, backslash, and then main.exe like that. When
で
we
こ
run
っち
that
から
command,
敵
it
来るんだ
should
よな
spit out hello world, so
武
that's
器
what
は
we
な
have inside
い
of the code here. And if you're on Mac or Linux, it's going to be dot, the slash is going to be in the other direction, and then I believe it's just going to be
明らかに
main. I don't
こい
think
つ
you're going to have a
これ
.exe
取って
extension on there. So you would just do dot slash main, and you should get the same output there in your Okay, let me just clear this with CLS.
気持ちいい
Again,
な
the command
ー
is C, the name of your source code, so main.rs.
外し
Then
たー
gives you some type of executable file. You can then run that executable file, and there you go. You have ran and executed your first Rust program. Now, if you are having trouble navigating here in the terminal, I will leave a video in the description that shows you some basic terminal commands. You need to be familiar with this to be able to execute your Rust code properly, and I won't go through explaining all the CD commands. So video in the description if you are able to follow
あー
the steps.
ちょっと
Alright, so that's really all that I have for you in this first video. This is our first
銃も
Rust
出る
program.
から
We've got the installation.
お
We're
い
now able to actually
お
run
よくれ
and
た
compile our Rust code. And in case you were confused there, again, we need to
まだいるやん
compile first into that executable.
まだいるやん
executable, and now that we have the executable file, we can give that to anyone, and regardless of their environment setup, well, their operating system will matter, but other than that, they should just be able to run that code. So with that said, I will wrap up the video here. In the next video, I'm going to show you some Rust command line tools. I'm going to show you how to better set up a project. Then we'll move on to some more Rust features, some more syntax, and look at all the stuff that you'd expect in a programming language. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out programmingexpert.io from the link in the description, and I will see you in the next one.
よし
Superhot.
へえ。ああ、なるほどな。いや、面白い、面白いけどさ、敵、あと何人来るか、入れといてほしい。面白い。よし、これは、ちょっとやってみよう。